Hey everyone, the first topic we're going to be discussing in this video series is going to be protein. So, protein is one of the main macronutrients along with fat and carbohydrates, and it's something that we manipulate a lot on Fitness for Life, and it's always associated with workouts and different things like that. So, I just want to kind of break down what it is, why we do it, and some of the other thinkings behind it. So. Essentially, protein's main function is to build and repair muscle tissue. So it's going to do other functions in the body, but that's always going to be its main one. Sources are going to be animal sources, so are like chicken, turkey, beef, fish sources. We've eggs, beans, nuts, legumes, things like that. Milks, other dairy products are going to give us sources of protein. But the quality of each one is going to play a factor too, and then the amount is also going to play a factor. So like lean sources are going to be best, and always having a high quality protein source is recommended. So like our diet is, it's higher protein than people are probably used to, but it's not something I consider a massively high protein diet. Our recommendation is for people to be having 1.5 to 2 times their body weight in grams of protein a day. So if you weigh 60 kilos, you're looking for about 90 to 120 grams of protein, and that's 7 days a week. So that's not a number you'll stumble upon. Most people aren't doing that unless you're making a conscious effort to do that, because in general the diet that people follow is just too low in protein, and people are having breakfast on the go, light snack for lunch, and then having a big meal in the evening. Whereas to get to that number, we need you to be having, if you get there in 4 meals, so be it. If you get there in 5 meals, perfect. And some people will be having 6 meals. We have a bit of flexibility on that, but in general, it's best to spread the protein out across the day. So every single time that you eat, I'd want you taking in a protein source. And that means your body's getting a constant supply of protein. And let's say if you aim for 15 to 20 grams per meal, if you have 5 meals that day, you're going to be in that range. So the easiest way for people to do it, and this means you don't have to worry about the figures and such, is just figure out what about 20 or 30 grams of protein is and work back from that. So in general, like three eggs is going to be 18 grams of protein, a chicken fillet breast is going to be about 25, a tin of tuna or salmon is going to be at 25. So in one day, if someone is having a tin of tuna, 3 eggs and chicken, like you're still only going to be on about 75 or something. So you need to be having more on that, and that's every day. And the reason why it's so important and why people suffer when they undereat on protein is that, like, the only reason that we train and the only benefits of training is when, like, it doesn't matter if you're a runner, if you're doing like weightlifting, if you're like playing soccer, whatever training you do is you damage your muscle tissues, and you damage your fibers and you tax your system. So you're worse off after training than you were before. And the major use of training is to create that environment in the body where your body has to adapt and recover from that. So if you do a load of squats, your body essentially says, look, she's doing squats here and we're struggling, we need to come back stronger for the next time that we do squats. And essentially that's what happens. So if you focus on a certain area, that area gets bigger and stronger because it adapts to the work that it's doing. But it won't do that if we don't take in enough protein. And if you're not eating enough protein, your body can break down muscle tissue as an energy source. So that's why you see people, like if you look at people that run marathons, you can be totally skinny and be able to run long distances, but a lot of them will still have a lot of body fat or can be like really overweight and get to that level. So if that's the other thing, if we don't have enough protein and a constant supply of protein, your body can break down the muscle tissue. So you're in the gym or doing workouts at home, trying to build muscle, and then you're kind of self-sabotaging by not taking in enough protein then secondly. And then the other reason for that is if we're trying to lose weight and lose body fat specifically, when we do that and are in a deficit, your body, if you have enough protein, you protect the muscle that you do have, so your body won't break down that muscle tissue. Like, and if you build 2 or 3 pounds of muscle, you mightn't even see it in a mirror, but your body has to burn more energy each day than just to support that muscle, because muscle is going to be more active than fat mass. So your metabolism is going to be increased a little bit. Even in the act of eating protein, our body has to digest it, so it's going to increase our metabolism a little, like marginally, but still more so than if you're eating, say, a carb or a fat. So the rule essentially with protein is every time you eat it, or every time you come to a meal, try and get a protein source. If you do that, If we sort out your protein and your carbohydrate intake, generally that's about 70 to 80% of it. Everything else kind of falls into place a little bit easier. And most people eat protein at dinner. Most people eat protein at lunch. It's your breakfast and your snacks that you need to focus on. If we can bring those up and try get 20 grams of protein in, maybe 20 in your breakfast and 15 in your 2 snacks, that's going to have you on 50 grams along with the ones that you're already having at lunch and dinner. You're going to be in a good range then. So yeah, focus on protein every time you eat, and because each day you start on 0, and essentially if you skip a meal or you don't have protein in a meal, you've just got less opportunities to reach that target then for that day. Any more questions or any topics you'd like covered, just let us know and I'll make a quick video.